everybody. I almost fell over. It says I'm live. I'm going to assume I'm live. Good afternoon. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm doing alright. Um, yeah, I just completely forgot that I was supposed to do a video today. So, here's my video for today. And I didn't even know what topic I was going to be talking about today, to be perfectly honest. I have this little notebook full of topics. Not a notebook, notepad full of topics. I can't talk. And none of them fit for today except for this one. Hello, Willow. Nice to see you. Um, but yes, so today I'm going to be talking about circle casting. Should you do it? Why should you do it? Why not? What was the point? So, when I was first starting out on this path, like for the first 3 years of practice, I did not cast circles. I would just do rituals at my altar, or I'd do a working or whatever with no circle. And then I found a technique that I really liked that didn't involve words. It didn't involve, well, not spoken out loud words. And I started casting circles, and things just worked better. So the same thing with altars is. Wait, no. The thing with altars is the same for circles. Sorry about that. Um, so you don't need an altar and you don't need a circle. In my opinion, things are just better when you have those two things, or more of those things. But from this is all from my own personal experience. So like, when I didn't use a circle, things worked, but I started to notice them working more, and I started to like feel the power and the energy of my workings with circles. Yeah, that vehicle was really rude. A man with a tiny penis, most likely. Um, that's what I always say about loud motors. I don't know if I'm the only one who said that. That's kind of rude. Whatever. Um, where was I? Where was I? Okay, whatever. So circles. You don't need them. I personally like them better. Now. I didn't originally. The what I've come to know the purpose of circles as is circles are used to amplify a working and to make a space sacred when you're doing a working. It doesn't have to be in an altar. It doesn't have to be during a whole ritual. It can be in the middle of a post office when you need to, I don't know, cast some kind of spell for something. Who knows? You can just do a quick little circle. It doesn't have to be a big fancy ritual with consecrations and calling the elements like out loud and whatever. I'm gonna explain the method that was shown to me and that worked best for me. Does that make sense? I'm gonna show that method in this video, or talk about it at least. So I don't like casting circles with words. Not my cup of tea. Don't like casting circles with words because I feel like it's too demanding. That's just my own personal opinion. Just for me personally, I don't mind if other people do it, or if I'm in circle with another person, I don't mind if they like doing it with words. But for me, when I'm casting my circle, I don't use words. I only use movements. So I start facing the west. Well, no, yeah. This method, it's like two combined. One of them is found in the Grimoire for the Green Witch book, and the other is found in the Working with the Dark Goddess, Celtic Goddess Morrigan book. I don't remember the author's names, but I talked about both of those books in my book review video that I did a long ass time ago. But yes, so the first method involves a wand, an athame, or a power hand. I personally start facing the west because I'm a water sign and I associate the west with water. So I face the west with my wand or power hand or athame, and I go clockwise around my room with the wand pointing out, and I basically cast a ring of blue fire around whatever space that I'm working. Um, and after that, I face the west. Go to I meet again in the west. I don't know how to explain things well. I meet again in the west, and I do a little swish and a little flick. Not like Harry Potter, but that's ends up what it becomes. And that closes it, makes it a whole big old round connected circle, and then I start calling the elements. And I this is the second technique that I learned. I face the west first, have my arms crossed, slowly open out my arms until they're at my sides, until I can feel that element in my body. And I do that for each of the four elements. And then once I finish with the four elements, I raise my hands up in the air and I bring down a purple orb of light for spirit. Those are just some techniques that were told to me and that work for me. And I feel like my magic works better when it's in circle. I know there are a lot of people out there who do not use circles. And I think that's really interesting because I used to be one of those people and now I'm not. So, um, yeah, so not using a circle versus using a circle. Using a circle to me just amplifies everything and it doesn't, it lets it sit in your space for a while. Does that make sense? It lets everything sit. So if you do a spell in circle and then you move on to do other spells or you do divination or you do readings or you do rituals or whatever, all of that working that you did within that circle will not be really released until you open up that circle again and you break the circle. And to me, letting it sit there and sort of ferment makes it a lot more powerful and it gives it that little extra oomph that you need sometimes. Um, and it also just makes a certain space feel more sacred to you when you're doing a working. It might not even be for an amplification and power. It could just be to make you feel comfortable and make you feel secluded in a space where you feel comfortable doing workings and where you know that your workings will have meaning and turn out the way they're supposed to. That's just my opinion. Without a circle, since I've experienced both sides of this, um, things work just as well. It's just, in my personal opinion, when I wasn't using a circle, I felt less connected to the elements. My nails are broken. um, when I wasn't using a circle, I felt less connected to the elements. I felt less connected to my work. I felt like I would cast a spell and then it would immediately go out. But when I got a circle, I like that sitting there kind of feeling. And there was a comment. Let me look at it. I'm doing this on my phone. Sorry. Willow Moonshine says, personally, I find my craft works better if I don't cast a circle. See, that's very interesting to me because now I can't do a working without casting a circle. Like, it's naturally a part of the routine. Which, that's really cool that people can. I don't know, I'm just really excited by different viewpoints. Um, yeah, so like Willow, there are people that do workings and their craft works better. Sorry, I keep doing this. Their craft works better if they don't cast a circle. And some people think they have to, like me. um, and it's all a matter of opinion. I think when you're just starting out on a path, or even if you're like well along in your path and you have done this thing for as long as you can remember, I think it's good to try new things, if that makes any sense. So I think it's always good to, if you have only ever casted with the circle, try it without it. If you've only, if you've never cast a circle, try it maybe once. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it ever again. That's the great thing. It's not going to be like, oh, you've done this once, now you must do it. You're addicted to it. You have to keep doing it. This is not what it's like. It's just a matter of finding what works for you, and that's with everything. Everything that's ever discussed on any video platform, any media platform regarding spirituality or whatever, it's all up to personal interpretation, and it's all about what works for you. My path is very eclectic. It's traditional, but it's eclectic. You know what I mean? Like, I customize things from traditional witchcraft that fit me better. Like, Joey Morris has a great example. When she's calling to the watchtowers for the elements, she doesn't see them as watchtowers, she sees them as trees. So she calls to the elemental trees instead of the elemental watchtowers. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about customization. So for a circle, you could have a physical one where you do salt in a ring around you, or you could smudge a circle around you, or you could do what I do and visualize it and manifest it, or you could have none. You could have no circle. It's all whatever works for you. Um, I, like I said, I always recommend working in circles simply because it's what I'm used to. But again, try new things, see what works, and if it doesn't work, kick it or keep trying because it might work later. You never know. That's a great thing. Just kidding. That's the most annoying thing ever. But yeah, and I find that happening a lot with my practice. Like I'll have to, like I'll try something and it won't work, and I'll hate it, and I'll be like, oh, whatever. I'm never doing that again. And then months later, I'll come back to it and I'll say, it's trying to make me try again. Okay, I'll try again, and it'll work 15 times better. And it's very frustrating. But yeah, yeah, yeah. You see, these live videos are not going to be very lengthy. um, the only reason I'm doing it like this is for this new year, I'm trying to focus my energy back into the creative things that I enjoy doing in different ways. YouTube being one of them. So when I do these live videos, I'm not trying to make them all fancy and deep discussion. I'm just trying to talk about a topic, and if more than one person joins, have a discuss. If even if one person joins, have a discussion. Try to see other people's viewpoints because that's my favorite thing to do. And they're just random topics that I thought of and questions that I get asked a lot in person. Like I said in my first live video of these Pagan Path series things, whatever the fuck. Okay. And I feel like in live videos you get to see my personality a little bit more, meaning I'm a mess. Um, you get to see the kind of all over the place thought process that I have. The interruptions, like that loud ass video, the things that are sort of not okay to say, like just just things, just things. I feel like live videos are better. I already said that. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now. Thank you, Willow, for joining. Thank you, everybody who is watching later, for viewing this at all. If anybody else has any topics or questions that they would like me to go over in future videos, please let me know and I will gladly do it in the next one, most likely, because this notepad, I'm probably going to have to write up some new ones or think back to when people have asked me more questions, because I'm not liking these topics that I have written down. Like this one, circle casting. I enjoy talking about it, but it's very easy to talk about it. You know what I mean? On the surface level. I'm not trying to get into some like deep, let me carve up and dig up the reasons why people cast circles. I can go into why circles are magical and why circles are sacred in the craft most of the time. But I'm pretty sure the people watching this already know about that. So, yeah, with that being said, I'm going to end this live video. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for joining. And I will see you all in the next one, which will be tomorrow, hopefully earlier in the day. I know I was late today. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Blessed be. I hope everyone's having a good Yule celebration. Yes! Okay, blessed be. Goodbye. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to end these things.